Picture this. You're standing in the office of an RV park, palms slightly sweaty, about to ask for a discount on your monthly rate. The manager looks up from their computer with that expression that says they've heard every negotiation tactic in the book. Your mouth goes dry. You mumble something about being on a fixed income, and they politely smile while handing you the standard rate sheet. You walk out paying full price, kicking yourself for not being more prepared. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Thousands of RVers overpay for their monthly stays simply because they don't know how to negotiate effectively. Or worse, they're too intimidated to try at all. But here's the truth that the RV industry doesn't advertise. Almost every monthly rate is negotiable. Park owners expect negotiation. They build flexibility into their pricing structures. And the RVers who understand this simple fact can save thousands of dollars every year. The difference between paying $2,800 per month and $1,900 per month isn't luck. It's not about having some special status or insider connection. It's about knowing exactly what to say, when to say it, and how to position yourself as the ideal long-term guest that park managers actually want to keep around. In this deep dive, we're going to pull back the curtain on RV park pricing psychology, reveal the actual scripts and phrases that consistently work in real negotiations, and show you the strategic timing and positioning that turns a firm no into an enthusiastic "let me see what I can do for you." Whether you're a full-time RVer looking to stretch your budget or a seasonal traveler wanting to maximize your winter stays, these proven negotiation strategies will transform how you approach monthly RV living. Let's get started. Before you can negotiate effectively, you need to understand what you're actually negotiating with. RV parks aren't charities, but they're also not faceless corporations squeezing every penny out of travelers. Most are small businesses with tight margins, operated by owners who genuinely care about creating a good experience while keeping their doors open. The average RV park operates on profit margins between 15 and 25%. Their biggest expenses are property taxes, utilities, maintenance, insurance, and labor. When a site sits empty, they're losing money on all those fixed costs. This is your first negotiation advantage. An occupied site at a reduced rate is almost always better than an empty site at full price. Parks typically categorize guests into 3 tiers. Transient guests staying 1 to 3 nights, weekly guests staying 4 to 14 nights, and monthly guests staying 30 days or more. The daily rate might be $60. The weekly rate drops to $50 per night, and the monthly rate typically falls to $35 or $40 per night. Why? Because longer stays mean less administrative work, less site turnover, less cleaning, and predictable revenue. Seasonal fluctuations dramatically impact negotiation leverage. A park in Florida or Arizona during peak snowbird season has little incentive to negotiate. They'll fill those sites at premium rates. But that same park in August, when temperatures soar above 100 degrees, suddenly they're very motivated to keep sites occupied. A park in the Pacific Northwest during winter faces the opposite pattern. Understanding these cycles for your target region is crucial. Parks also operate with different site classifications. Premium sites with full hookups, concrete pads, and scenic views command higher rates. Standard sites with gravel pads and basic hookups sit in the middle tier. Back-in sites without SOAR connections or older areas of the park are the most negotiable. Knowing which sites have historically been harder to fill gives you negotiation ammunition. Finally, understand that park managers have different levels of authority. A front desk employee usually can't negotiate rates. The park manager typically has authority to discount up to 10 or 15%. The owner can approve anything. Your negotiation strategy must account for speaking with the right person who actually has the power to say yes. Negotiation isn't about confrontation. It's about collaboration. The most successful RV park negotiations happen when you position yourself as solving a problem for the park rather than trying to extract value from them. This mindset shift is everything. Park managers deal with difficult guests constantly. Complaints about Wi-Fi speeds, disputes with neighbors, late payment on fees, violations of quiet hours. When you approach them as someone who will be a model guest, someone who pays on time, respects the rules, and creates zero drama, you're immediately in a different category. This is worth money to them, and they know it. Likability matters more than most people realize. Studies on negotiation consistently show that people give better deals to individuals they like and trust. Spend a few minutes building genuine rapport before discussing rates. Ask about how long they've owned or managed the park. Comment on something specific you noticed and appreciated about the property. Show that you're interested in them as people, not just as gatekeepers to a discount. Timing your negotiation conversation is critical. Never try to negotiate during peak check-in times when the office is crowded and the staff is stressed. Mid-morning on a Tuesday or Wednesday is ideal, after the weekend rush has cleared but before they're dealing with end-of-month administrative tasks. If you're negotiating by phone, avoid Mondays and Fridays. The principle of reciprocity is powerful in negotiation. If you can offer something valuable to the park, they're psychologically primed to offer something back. Maybe you have handyman skills and can help with minor repairs. Perhaps you're willing to help with seasonal decorating or event setup. Some RVers offer to write positive reviews, provide photography for the park's website, or refer other guests. These offerings create goodwill that translates into negotiation flexibility. Anchoring is another psychological principle to leverage. The first number mentioned in a negotiation tends to anchor the entire conversation. If the park lists monthly rates at $1,200 and you counter with "I was hoping to pay around $800, you've anchored low. If instead you ask "What's your best monthly rate?" and they say $1,200, that number is now the anchor. Strategic anchoring means doing your research first and making the first offer when possible. Walking into negotiation without preparation is like showing up to a poker game without knowing the rules. The RVers who consistently secure the best rates do their homework first. Start by researching comparable parks in the area. Use resources like RV Parky, Campendium, and Good Sam to identify what other parks charge for monthly stays. If the park you're targeting charges $1,300 per month, but 3 similar parks within 10 miles charge $900 to $1,000, you have objective data supporting your negotiation position. Check online reviews for insights about the park's occupancy patterns. Reviews from different seasons reveal when they struggle to fill sites. Comments like "We were the only RVers here in July" or "barely anyone staying during the week" indicate negotiation opportunities. Pay attention to complaints about specific sites. These problem areas are your best negotiation targets. Look at the park's website and social media for clues about their business priorities. Are they marketing heavily to families and highlighting their playground? They might prefer weekly summer guests over monthly stays. Do they emphasize their peace and quiet with strict age restrictions? They're looking for mature, respectful long-term guests. Position yourself accordingly. Call or email multiple parks in your target area, even if you have a favorite. Having genuine alternative options strengthens your negotiation position immensely. When you can honestly say, "I'm also considering Sunset RV Park down the road," it changes the entire dynamic. Parks don't want to lose potential revenue to competitors. Understand the local market conditions beyond just RV parks. Is the area experiencing economic growth or decline? Are there new RV parks under construction that will increase competition? Is there a major employer downsizing that might reduce the number of traveling workers needing monthly sites? These macro factors influence a park's willingness to negotiate. Document your negotiation goals before making contact. What's your ideal monthly rate? What's your walkaway number? What concessions matter most to you? Price, site location, included amenities, flexible terms. Having clarity prevents you from accepting a deal in the moment that you'll regret later. Now we get to the practical scripts, the actual words and phrases that have proven successful in real-world negotiations. These aren't theoretical frameworks, they're tested approaches that work. The long-term value script. "Hi, I'm planning to stay in the area for 3 months the entire winter season, and I'm really impressed with your park. I noticed your monthly rate is their listed price. I'm wondering if there's flexibility on that rate, given that I'm looking at an extended stay and I'd be paying upfront. I'm a quiet guest, I always pay on time, and I take excellent care of my site." This script works because it leads with commitment, demonstrates financial stability, and preemptively addresses the manager's potential concerns about problem guests. The off-season reality script. "I understand this is your slower season, and I'm flexible about which site I take. If you have sites that are harder to fill or maybe an older area of the park, I'd be happy to take one of those at a reduced monthly rate. I'm easy to work with and just looking for a good value. This acknowledges the reality both parties know while offering a solution. You're essentially volunteering to take inventory they're struggling to move. The competitor comparison script. I'm trying to decide between a few parks in the area. I really prefer your location and amenities, but I have to be honest, competitor park quoted me lower amount for a monthly stay. Is there any way you could match or get closer to that rate? I'd much rather stay here if we can make the numbers work. This creates urgency and competition without being aggressive. You're positioning yourself as a desirable customer they might lose if they can't be flexible. The multiple month commitment script. If I commit to 4 months the full season upfront, is there a discount you could offer beyond the standard monthly rate? I'm looking for a home base for the next several months, and I'd love it to be here. Longer commitments reduce administrative burden and provide guaranteed revenue. Many parks will discount an additional 10 to 20% for multi-month prepayment. The essential services script. I'm on a pretty tight budget, but I don't need all the bells and whistles. If I skip the cable TV hookup and maybe take a back-in site instead of pull-through, could that bring down the monthly rate? I really just need the basics: electric, water, and saw. This demonstrates price sensitivity while showing you're reasonable and willing to compromise on amenities. The reference and review script. I maintain a blog about RV travel and I'm always looking for great parks to feature. If you could work with me on the monthly rate, I'd be happy to write a detailed review and share photos on my social media. I have followers who are always asking for recommendations. Only use this if it's genuinely true, but if you do have any platform or review presence, it's valuable currency. The work trade script. I noticed some areas around the park that could use attention. I have experience with specific skill, landscaping, electrical work, painting, etc. Would you be open to reducing the monthly rate in exchange for some work hours each week? I'm reliable and I do quality work. Work camping arrangements can dramatically reduce costs, and many parks are interested if you have genuinely useful skills. The seasonal booking script. I'm planning my route for next year, and I'd love to book the same period for next season right now. If I book and pay a deposit for next year's stay, could you lock in a discounted rate for both this season and next? This gives the park guaranteed future revenue and allows you to lock in lower rates before potential increases. Once you've mastered the basic scripts, these advanced tactics can help you secure even better deals or navigate challenging situations. The silence technique. After stating your desired rate or asking for a discount, stop talking. The pause will feel uncomfortable, but resist the urge to fill it. Many park managers will offer additional concessions during this silence simply because they interpret it as your dissatisfaction with their initial response. The package approach. Instead of just negotiating monthly site fees, negotiate the entire package. If I pay for 3 months upfront, could you include free laundry, waive the Wi-Fi fee, and throw in propane fills at cost? Bundling requests often yields better overall value than focusing solely on the site rate. The incremental close. If a manager says they can't go as low as you'd like, use incremental steps. I understand. What if we met in the middle at amount? If they still resist, could you at least waive the reservation fee and include Wi-Fi at that rate? Small concessions add up to significant savings. The walkaway. That isn't really a walkaway if you've reached an impasse. Politely end the conversation. I appreciate your time. Unfortunately, that's outside my budget. I'm going to check a couple other options, but I'll keep you in mind. Then follow up in 3 to 5 days. Often the manager will have reconsidered or checked with the owner, and they'll reach out with a better offer. The shoulder season pivot. If you're negotiating for peak season and hitting resistance, offer to shift your dates. I'm flexible on timing. If I came 2 weeks earlier before your busy season really starts, would that open up more flexibility on the rate? Parks often have soft openings to their peak seasons where they're willing to discount. The multi-park strategy. If you're planning to stay in a region for several months, split your time between 2 or 3 parks. Tell each park you're looking for 6 weeks instead of 3 months. Shorter monthly stays often get better rates than demanding a full season at one location, and you get variety in your surroundings. The direct owner approach: if the manager can't or won't negotiate, politely ask, "Is there an owner I could speak with about extended stay arrangements?" Owners often have more authority and a different perspective on pricing. Just be respectful of the manager when making this request to avoid creating friction. When you negotiate matters as much as how you negotiate. Understanding seasonal patterns, booking windows, and decision-making cycles gives you tremendous advantage. The sweet spot: 30 to 60 days out. This is ideal booking timing for most parks. They have reasonable visibility into occupancy. They're not completely booked, but they're starting to worry about filling sites. Too early and they're not motivated. Too late and options are limited. Off-season is negotiation season. January through March in northern states, June through September in Arizona and desert regions, hurricane season in coastal areas. These slow periods are when parks are most flexible. They know sites will sit empty, and any revenue is better than none. End-of-month urgency. The last week of any month creates pressure to fill sites for the upcoming month. Parks reviewing their occupancy projections become more motivated to fill holes in their calendar. Holiday weekend exceptions. Avoid negotiating during major holiday weekends when parks traditionally fill with short-term guests at premium rates. But the week immediately after a major holiday, perfect timing when they're resetting for regular occupancy. Weather event opportunities. After a harsh winter storm, summer heat wave, or other weather event that suppresses tourism, parks are often sitting with unexpected vacancies and increased negotiation flexibility. New ownership or management. When parks change ownership or bring in new management, there's often a period of adjustment where they're learning the market and more open to different arrangements. Check local RV forums and Facebook groups for news about management changes. Annual rate setting periods. Most parks review and adjust their rates in late fall or early winter for the following year. Negotiating during this planning period sometimes catches them before new rates are locked in, giving you opportunity to lock in current rates for extended future stays. Even with perfect scripts and great timing, certain mistakes can sabotage your negotiation before it really begins. Being aggressive or entitled. The fastest way to get a firm no is approaching negotiation with attitude. "Your rates are ridiculous," or "I deserve a discount," creates defensiveness. Parks don't owe anyone discounted rates. Negotiation is a request, not a demand. Negotiating via text or email exclusively. While initial inquiries work fine via email, serious negotiation should happen by phone or in person. Voice communication allows you to build rapport, read tone, and adjust your approach in real time. It's much easier for someone to say no via email than during a personal conversation. Lying or exaggerating. Don't invent competitor prices, fake online followings, or misrepresent your skills. The RV community is small, park managers talk to each other, and getting caught in a lie destroys trust permanently. Negotiating only on price. Sometimes the listed rate is firm, but everything else is negotiable. Extended electric pedestals, premium Wi-Fi, guest passes, early check-in, late checkout, designated parking spots, these amenities have value. If you can't lower the monthly rate, negotiate the value package upward. Accepting the first offer. If a manager immediately agrees to your requested rate, you probably asked for too little. It's okay to push slightly, that's great. Just to confirm, does that include Wi-Fi and cable? You might discover additional savings or included amenities. Not getting it in writing. Verbal agreements are worthless if the manager leaves or later claims they don't remember the conversation. Get your negotiated rate and terms confirmed via email or in your signed rental agreement before committing. Skipping the follow-up. If you had a good conversation but didn't reach agreement, follow up within a few days. Hi, name. I really appreciated our conversation on Tuesday. I've thought about it more and I'm still very interested in your park. Is there any additional flexibility you discovered on the monthly rate? Persistence without pestering often yields results. Negotiating RV park monthly rates isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about understanding value from both perspectives and finding arrangements that work for everyone. Parks want reliable, respectful guests who pay on time and create zero problems. You want affordable monthly rates that fit your budget. These goals aren't in conflict. They're perfectly aligned. The RVers who consistently secure the best rates share common traits. They do thorough research. They approach negotiations professionally and respectfully. They understand timing and leverage, and they position themselves as valuable long-term guests rather than budget-focused transients. Start small. Your first negotiation might feel awkward, and you might not achieve dramatic savings. That's fine. Each conversation builds your confidence and refines your approach. By your third or fourth negotiation, you'll feel natural asking for better rates, and you'll develop intuition for reading manager responses and adjusting your strategy. Remember that relationships matter in the RV community. The manager you negotiate with this year might remember you fondly next year and proactively offer you a great rate before you even ask. Park owners talk to each other at industry conferences and via regional associations. Your reputation as a respectful, reliable guest becomes an asset that opens doors. The difference between paying full price and negotiating effectively isn't just about saving a few $100s on a single stay. Over a year of full-time RV living, skilled negotiation can save you $5,000 to $10,000 or more. That's real money that extends your travel budget, allows you to stay in better locations, or simply provides financial breathing room. So the next time you're standing in that park office or picking up the phone to inquire about monthly rates, remember, you're not begging for a handout. You're a valuable customer proposing a mutually beneficial arrangement. Speak with confidence, negotiate with respect, and watch those monthly rates drop to numbers that make extended RV living genuinely affordable. Safe travels, and happy negotiating.